We are Trans Reality Solutions, and we are a design company who work for IDI, outsourced by Electronic Arts, to design a video game to be played in an outdoor field. I'm Shelby Kiger.
I'm Yuhan Yang.
I'm Yuqi Xaio.
I'm TJ Criswell.
That's it.
Nice.
Our team wanted to establish some predispositions as guidelines for our research. The first predisposition is that EA means sports. When many people think of Electronic Arts Incorporated as a company, they believe that they only produce sporting video games, but they do not realize that they produce other games such as battle and strategy games. The second predisposition regards safety. If the user is running around in a field with goggles on, he or she may trip over a rock. The third predisposition is individuals are more likely to exercise if using a fun, collaborative video game.
For our primary research, we decided to ask a few questions to one of our friends that we decided to fit inside our target audience. He's a 20-year-old male who plays a lot of video games, and he is more or less physically active. We decided just to ask a few questions, not in specifics, just about what kind of game he'd like to play outside and any possible issues with that. He provided a lot of good insight, which we used to further develop our product.
To conduct our secondary research, we created a list of all topics we want to focus on as a guideline, and we use the web to mostly conduct our secondary research.
Our first insight is that our game should involve collaboration. This derives from our secondary research, where there was a study done where when people play AR video games together, it's an increase of collaboration skills. And the individual we interviewed for our primary research said that him and his friends would love to play an interactive video game together.
Our group's second insight was that since the game involves physical activity, our audience is going to be more of a younger generation. The age gap is from 8 to 26. Since the age starts at 8, we want the game not to be so intricate so that they can still participate in the game.
Okay, so our third insight is that the entire field should not be used for the players due to the safety. We realize that there will be more dangers for players playing a larger game field. Because the larger area for people to use, there will be more rocks and ships will be trapped by the players. Therefore, the size of the real play field should be moderate but not too large.
Our target end users are individuals ages 8 to 26 who are able to perform moderate activity, who are okay with being outside, and who have an interest in emerging technologies. One of the individuals who would fit in our target end scope would be Daniel Schmidt, who is 18 and he studies pre-med at Indiana University. He used to be the quarterback of his high school football team. He loves to hike, loves his family, and he's currently pledging a fraternity. His devices include his MacBook Pro, his iPad, his Beats, and Sports Illustrated. His goals is he wants to find his place at IU, win the intramural football team tournament, find a girlfriend, and maintain a 3.5 GPA. For social media, he uses GroupMe to keep up with his pledge class and updates his family through his Facebook. Content he loves are funny photos of his family and his dogs, reviews of sporting events and players, and he loves to read the local newspaper to read about the high school football team.
Before we decided to come up with any of our concepts, we had 3 rules laid out as a result of our research and predispositions. The 3 rules are: 1, the game can't be so immersive that you can get hurt. The second one is the game has to be multiplayer. And the third one is the game can't be too physically demanding. So with those rules in mind, we sat down as a group and brainstormed about 10 ideas, and from those 10 ideas, we picked the 3 we liked most. The first one was a sandbox game where you could build anything you want. It had 2 variations. The first variation is that you build in blocks kind of like Minecraft. The second one is that you could draw and paint whatever you wanted. The second game idea is it was a battle game, and you would just get set into the middle of a battle and you have to fight your way out in like a wave type setup. The 2 variations was, one is going to be futuristic, as in you fight robots. The other variation is Stone Age, where you have like really basic weapons and fight cavemen. The third game concept idea we had was a multi-sports game where you could pick any sports you want. The first variation of it was single player, and you just kind of played whatever you wanted, like baseball alone, or you could play multiplayer and play other people on the same team. In the end, we decided to pick the battle game as our final concept to run with.
Our finalized concept that we chose was the battle game entitled Adventure Battle Time. This is a game where it could be a single or multiplayer user where you can pick Stone Age or futuristic, and it is a sequence of waves. After each wave, you have the chance to improve your health or change your weapon. After you beat one wave, the next wave comes and it increases in difficulty.
For our prototypes, I got on Photoshop and I made what we pictured the AR would actually look like inside the field. So we started off with just a regular old field, and then once you turn the headset on, it's going to show the start screen where you can pick between the two options of futuristic or Stone Age. And then after you pick one of the two, it goes to the scene what the game would actually look like, and you have the weapon in your hand, you have the berries you can hide behind, and it has the health bar on top, and also shows how long until the wave starts with the little countdown timer. When the wave starts, it'll say wave 1 or wave whatever number wave you're on across the screen, and then after that you will see the enemies start coming out. And also in the bottom left hand corner there's a little remaining enemies thing, and as you eliminate the enemies, it will go down one by one until they get 0. 0 is the end of the wave. And then we also have a little demonstration of what it looks like when you get hit, and if you get hurt, your health goes down, the screen goes red, and it just kind of shows that you were injured and you need to take cover. After you complete the wave, it's going to say wave complete, remaining enemies is 0 in the corner, and then the countdown timer starts again. But then with this, you have time to actually go into the system to upgrade your weapons, buy new weapons, and also prepare yourself for the next battle.
Okay, there's 2 usability tests. The first one we established is on our prototype. It happens in my apartment with my roommates. He's pretty experienced with playing video games. He just went through the whole game and pointed out some weaknesses for us. According to his feedback, we found out several places to improve. The first one is about the game mode. The game mode is too simple to attract him for another play. The second one is there should be more details for our banking system, because now our banking system could be confused to the players. The third one is that the weapon should be more complex. There should be some combination of the weapons and more like futuristic weapons here. Now Yuhan's gonna talk about the second usability test.
So second usability test is mainly a physical demand test, and the players will set up at the dual metal, and we ask the testers to perform a series of physical tasks. We let the testers to run in a circle and dodge an opponent and shoot a bow and arrow, etc. And after this, we let them to rate how physically demanding the tasks were after they performed the tasks. And however, after conducting this test, we found that the data collected from this test has little reference value to our real games physically demanding. So we will revise the test in the future.
Based on our feedback of the usability test, there are 4 parts for us to be improved for the redesign. The first one is that we will change the font style to a more obvious one, because it has to be easier for the user to be seen in the outdoor field. The second one is that there will be one more game mode for the game. There will be a mission for each game, and the team who complete the mission wins the game. The third one is that we are going to add more options for the weapon, and there will be more weapon combinations for the players to choose. Obviously, the more complex weapon spends more money. And the fourth one is that our banking system will be more detailed with our redesign. It will show players how and what the players get the money, and the players will know in what ways they can get more money as well.
The process started with our team given the simple task of designing a video game to be played in an outdoor field. Through research, insight, personas, redesign, and the whole HCI process, we have concluded with our project. One of the key takeaways that we have is that our game, the basic concept of the game, is a good idea. We have received positive feedback from every individual who took our usability test, but the details and the actual design of the game need improvement. Another takeaway is the safety component. we should not be so heavily focused on the safety of the game because it really is clearly not an issue. So we recommend that EA continue with our idea, but it just needs to go through a major redesign process.